The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers for Thursday, September 4th, reveal that Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, will demand an ASAP wedding date after Eric Forrester, John McCook, stops Ridge Forrester's, Torsten K. guilt trip, or at least tries to. At Forrester Creations, Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, has been opening up to Ridge about how lost he feels. Since Thomas is no longer engaged to Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, he feels like he always seems to end up alone. Thomas isn't feeling very fulfilled in his career either, since he isn't designing for any line in particular. Now that Thomas's life is such a mess again, he's clinging to Ridge and Taylor's reunion as the one good thing left. Thomas doesn't know what he'll do if he loses this too, so he's been begging Ridge not to take his family away from him. Since Thomas has sent Ridge on a guilt trip, that's going to make it even more difficult for Ridge to leave Taylor and go back to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. BNB spoilers say Ridge will open up to Eric about his concerns regarding Thomas, who could go off the rails again if Taylor and Ridge break up. Nevertheless, Eric will insist that Ridge can't let Thomas or even Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, influence his decision-making here. Ridge has to follow his heart, so Eric will push him to follow it straight back to Brooke since she's the woman he wants deep down. Eric will make another big speech about Ridge's destiny and how Brooke is the person he belongs with, but Ridge will continue to struggle with all this. Once Taylor meets up with Ridge, she'll pressure him to move forward with their marriage plans. Taylor will demand that they set a wedding date ASAP and get started on sharing the rest of their lives together. Ridge may delay Taylor as long as he can, but she's obviously expecting him to follow through on the commitment he made and have their actual nuptials. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Taylor will be eager to spread the news about their wedding date, so stay tuned for updates on whether Ridge will cave in. Love, rivalry, and high-stakes romance are colliding in Los Angeles this week, and Thursday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful promises fireworks. Taylor Hayes has had enough waiting, enough hesitation, and certainly enough of Brooke Logan's shadow hanging over her engagement. She's ready to push Ridge Forrester into action, and she's not holding back. Taylor's ultimatum. Taylor has always been the kind of woman who gives her heart fully, but after decades of tug-of-war with Brooke, she's learned that hesitation is dangerous. On Thursday, she corners Ridge with a bold demand: set a wedding date, immediately. No vague promises, no drawn-out planning. Taylor wants something concrete, something binding, and she wants it now. Her reasoning is simple. Brooke is still very much a threat. Taylor knows Ridge's history, and she's not naive enough to think his ex-wife's charm has faded. Every glance between Brooke and Ridge is like a dagger, and Taylor is done waiting for fate to decide. She wants security, and she believes that locking Ridge into an official commitment is the only way forward. Ridge caught in the middle. For Ridge, Taylor's demand feels like a trap. On one hand, he genuinely loves her and wants their future together to be solid. On the other hand, the pressure is suffocating. Ridge has always struggled when forced into quick decisions, especially where marriage is concerned. The scars of his countless reunions and breakups with Brooke still weigh on him. But Taylor isn't giving him room to wiggle out this time. She's setting the tone. If Ridge wants to prove he's serious, then he'll give her a date, and soon. The ultimatum leaves Ridge reeling. He doesn't want to lose Taylor, but deep down, part of him knows Brooke will always be in the picture. Brooke senses trouble. Meanwhile, Brooke isn't about to step aside quietly. Thursday's spoilers hint that she'll catch wind of Taylor's push for a quick wedding, and you can bet she'll be outraged. For Brooke, it's not just about Ridge, it's about the principle. She doesn't believe Taylor can hold on to him without force, and Brooke may decide to remind Ridge of their own fiery connection. Expect a classic Brooke move, subtle but effective interference. A glance here, a reminder there, and suddenly Ridge will be questioning if he's truly ready to marry Taylor so soon. Brooke knows her power, and Taylor's ultimatum may unintentionally open the door for her rival to swoop right back in. The family factor. Adding fuel to the fire, Steffi and Thomas could become major players in Thursday's drama. Both children are heavily invested in their parents' reunion, but they may not see eye to eye on the timing. Steffi might back Taylor's demand, believing that Ridge needs to be locked down before Brooke can slither back. Thomas, however, could advise caution, sensing Ridge's hesitation. This potential sibling clash may stir up new conflict within the Forrester family. After all, every move Ridge makes has ripple effects, not just for him, but for the entire clan. What happens next? Thursday's episode sets the stage for an explosive storyline. Will Ridge cave to Taylor's demands and set a date immediately? Or will his hesitation give Brooke the leverage she's been waiting for? Taylor believes that speed is her best weapon, but rushing Ridge into marriage might backfire spectacularly. If he feels pressured, he could rebel, and when Ridge rebels, it usually leads him straight into Brooke's arms. At the same time, Brooke lurking in the background is a ticking time bomb. She knows how to bide her time, and if Ridge falters even slightly, she'll seize the opportunity to remind him that she's always been his destiny. Final thoughts. Thursday, September 4th, is shaping up to be a pivotal day in the bold and the beautiful saga. Taylor's fiery ultimatum will test Ridge's loyalty and patience, while Brooke sharpens her claws to reclaim her man. Fans can expect heated conversations, emotional confrontations, and a cliffhanger that leaves Ridge more torn than ever. One thing is clear: the battle for Ridge Forrester's heart is far from over. In fact, Taylor's demand for a wedding date might just ignite the very storm she was hoping to prevent.